Good morning. I'm very proud of Shekinah. She was not wanting to publicly speak this morning, and she did a great job. Thank you so much, Shekinah, and big thanks to all of our residency grads, Shekinah, James, and Norma, who are speaking this morning and sharing a little bit about their stories. The Alliance for Education, the University of Washington, the Seattle Education Association, and Seattle Public Schools came together 4 years ago to create the Seattle Teacher Residency. It's a program that prepares a cohort of highly qualified and diverse teachers dedicated to serve specifically in Seattle's Title I schools. We're all very proud, all the partners are very proud of this remarkable program and the great teachers it's producing for Seattle Public Schools like Norma, James, and Shekinah. I also very much want to thank Dr. Nyland for joining us this morning. He flew in late last night from Washington, D.C., narrowly avoiding a snowstorm. And it's been wonderful working with him since I started in this role. My very first meeting when I took on this role was with Dr. Nyland, and he has been a gracious and thoughtful partner ever since then. His commitment to eliminating opportunity gaps is clear and powerful. That was the first thing he talked to me about when we had our first conversation, and I'm very honored to be working in partnership with him. I also want to thank all of Dr. Nyland's cabinet members who were able to be here this morning. They're all fantastic partners. I also need to thank our generous sponsors. We have some fantastic sponsors who helped this breakfast come together and who support the Alliance for Education. First, our wonderful presenting sponsors, Boeing and First Choice Health. You can give them a round of applause if you like. Our gold sponsors, Amazon, Kaiser Permanente, and Microsoft. And our silver sponsors, Adobe, Alaska Airlines, BECU, and K&L Gates. Thanks so much to all of our sponsors, and a special shout out to First Choice Health for their matching grant this morning. Any gift made this morning of $250 or above will be matched by First Choice Health. So thank you so much for that inspirational support. I'd also like to recognize our elected officials who took the time to join us this morning. Retired Washington State Supreme Court Justice Bobby Bridge. Feel free to stand if you'd like to, folks. King County Council Member Rod Dembowski, State Senator Reuben Carlisle, City Council Member Tim Burgess, School Director Betty Patu, School Director Rick Burke, School Director Stefan Blanford, SEA President Phyllis Campano, and SEA Vice President Michael Tamayo. These are some of the busiest folks in the state at the moment, and I'm so grateful that they took the time to be here with us this morning. I'd also like to thank Deputy Mayors Hayek Kim and Kate Jonkus for joining us, and our City Director of Education and Early Learning, Dwayne Chappelle. Could I also ask the members of the Alliance for Education Board to stand, please, and be recognized? This is an incredible group of leaders, and I am so grateful for their guidance and their support. And I'd like to give a special shout out to Jane Broom, our board chair. I'm only 5 months into my role, and I call her probably 6 times a day, and she never complains, which I appreciate, and gives great advice. I'd also like to ask all the teachers, principals, and district staff here to stand. These are some of the hardest working folks also in our community. They're also some of the most important leaders we have, and I'm just very grateful to have their leadership in our district. When I was asked to take on this role at the Alliance, I was truly delighted. My mother was a public school teacher. I started my career as a public school teacher, and my work ever since has been dedicated to improving outcomes for kids in schools. And most importantly, I'm a mom of 2 Seattle Public School students, a first grader and a third grader. Francis and Sam are my cheering section in the back this morning. But don't worry, Dr. Nyland, they're not missing class. School doesn't start until 9:30, so we're okay. One of the questions I get asked most in this new role is, what exactly is the Alliance for Education? And 5 months in, I've started to figure out my answer. The Alliance for Education is an organization dedicated to supporting equity efforts in Seattle Public Schools. We believe that education has the power to help every student reach their full potential. We see that our district has some of the strongest outcomes in the country for some of our students, but not yet for all of our students, and Dr. Nyland referred to this in his remarks as well. We see the very bright and very hopeful signs of incredible progress, and we see that some of our students, disproportionately students of color and low-income students, are still not achieving as we know that they can. This problem is not new, and we believe that the community has a critical role to play in supporting the district's effort to address this challenge. The Alliance is part of a growing community movement to encourage equity of support and equity of outcomes for all students in Seattle Public Schools. We firmly believe that great city school districts thrive when the community is engaged in supporting them. And we believe that through partnership and collaboration, we can close the gaps that exist and ensure that all students succeed. So what does that mean for me day to day? What am I working on? At the Alliance, we work in close partnership with the district to understand the issues. We bring together community leaders, like all of you, to learn about the challenges that exist and to raise money to address those challenges. We help parent groups raise funds for their schools. We recognize excellence in teachers and principals who are leading the way in closing the gap. And we create programs, like the Seattle Teacher Residency, that are designed to help our most challenged schools catch up. Today, as you might have noticed from your tables, March 14th is Pie Day, and I hope you eat some of those cute little pies on your table. I don't remember having Pie Day when I was growing up, but apparently this is now a thing. Kids celebrate the magic of the number pi, 3.14, on March 14th, 314. It's a great way to get kids excited about math and a great excuse to serve pie for breakfast, which I always think is a good idea. It's been a while since I had to use the number pi. I did have to double check to make sure I understood the concept still, but I did remember that one of the key factors of pi is that it is a constant. Whenever you divide the circumference of a circle by the diameter of a circle, you always get 3.14, and lots more decimals after that. It doesn't matter how big that circle is or what's inside of it, the constant is always pi. For me, the constant in our circle, in this circle, is our kids. There are many things that we can disagree about within the circle of our community, but we can all agree that every student in our city deserves a great education and the chance to take advantage of all Seattle has to offer. In partnership, I know that we can make that possible. I'm delighted that my friend Tanya Allen could come all the way from Detroit to share her experiences addressing similar problems in her hometown. She also flew in yesterday in the midst of a snowstorm, and we are very lucky to have her here this morning. But before she speaks, please welcome back to the stage the wonderful Norma Andrade.